Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, Jelaine and I make cookies from my grandma's cookbook, and we visit Mary Jo and Rick as they perform an original Christmas song. But first, a visit with a Christmas aficionado, Joe Dragovich. Well, the Arms Museum at Christmas time is really one of my favorite places to be. I come here numerous times and take many guests. And director of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society is Bill Lawson. And Bill, this really is one of the biggest fundraisers you have for the society.
It is. Well, it's our favorite time of the year. We have thousands of people here every year. And as far as earned income through admissions and store sales, this is a very significant part of our budget.
Yeah, and I mean, everything is still here as Olive Arms left it. And you just enhance it with different periods and Christmas decorations. And I love that it's different every year.
Yes.
But how do you go about acquiring everyone's different collections?
Well, this is something that Anthony Aurelia does. He's our buildings and grounds supervisor throughout the year. But at the holiday times, he is the creative force. He's the person who is in the collecting network for vintage holiday and Christmas items. And he uses that network of friends and people that he knows have significant collections and brings that all into the museum and just makes something wonderful out of it.
Well, Anthony is the head elf here at the Arms Museum, and every year you knock it out of the park. And I absolutely love the sitting room. We are right here in the mid-century modern, the 70s. I mean, we had this tree when I was a little girl, and I thought we had the sexiest tree on the street, man. And I love the furniture. How do you find all these treasures?
Well, it's a year in planning. Like I have mentioned this before, it's a year to plan this exhibit to bring it to about 9 weeks. And I antique, go to garage sales, do estate sales, and this furniture we're sitting on right now actually came out of a home on the west side. They were still using it, and we were, lucky to be fortunate to have it to pull off this room, which is a mid-century room. 50s with the evergreen pom-pom tree and the color wheel. We are used to seeing a color wheel that
I've never seen one.
This is
that
a base.
Is underneath.
Exactly, yes.
And how did you come to find that?
Well, this actually came out of an estate, someone's aunt's estate. They had an estate sale, and I went to it, and the whole tree and everything was there. And the beauty of all of this is finding the local Christmas pieces or furniture and having it in the Arms Museum.
Well, different collectors are the reason that the Arms Memories of Christmas Past is such a success, because they lend their collections for display. And my sister Christine graduated with Joe Dragovich here. And he is a collector, and this is his tree, the angel tree. And when we came through on Saturday, my sister was just blown away by, how beautiful the angel tree is. And this is a tribute to your mom?
It's my mom's angel tribute tree. She passed away in 2016. She had an extensive collection. Some really nice pieces, some stuff, just regular. I have a rule in collecting: anything can be an ornament.
Yes, because a lot of these are really little
They're shelf pieces.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she had a lot of them marked on the bottom, gifted to people when she passed, when the time came. And so, we had a large collection when we had our calling hours, and then handed them out to the people they were marked for. They said, "What are you going to do with the rest of them?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to do a tree to tribute to her, because I know that she would enjoy it." And I've added some pieces, because that's what she would have done.
And I wanted to talk to you about your book. Yes. Now, you also have a Christmas book and your own ornament line.
Yes. The Empty Hook started out as a book, and a really neat project that is, just It's paid me back in the friendships I've made and the experience I've had in doing it and executing every piece of it. And the story behind the story is just, each one is just remarkable. But the book itself, geared towards Christmas from a collector standpoint of ornaments collected and gathered across the country, and just thinking, if those ornaments could talk, what stories would they tell about Christmas? And so when I started putting the tree together, that story came to mind. And so I wrote a story about Christmas and the ornaments telling the story. And there's no better story to tell about Christmas than the original story of Christmas. And so it just reinforces that message. It doesn't tell the story, but it reinforces that the gift of Christmas is with you. Remember him on his day.
Well, the upstairs hallway here at the Arms Museum is dedicated to all the drawings and the works that are behind the scenes for The Empty Hook. And this really is a beautiful book, Joe. It is. I mean, the illustrations are great, the characters. You must be really proud of this.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the book and everything that that's generated off of it. The ornaments, the song, it's just all neat.
And yes, another local connection is Mary Jo Maluso and Rick Blackson. They have written a song rather, that goes along with the feelings they got from reading this book.
Right, we had the lyrics, and I handed them off to Rick. He tweaked them, and knowing Mary Jo's voice, and he composed the music, and it's a really, really pretty Christmas song.
It is, and we are going to go and have them actually perform it, so this is all exciting. The detail on each and every one of your characters for the ornament, they're beautiful.
Yeah, and if you were to look at the book and look at the ornaments will look like they stepped right off the page. They are that spot on. And Jingle Nog makes the ornaments for me. Jingle Nog is up in New York, and she does great work with ornaments. And she makes the mold. We critique the mold. We go back and forth through that process. You got to do this, got to do that. And my illustrator's involved in that process. And then that mold's created, shipped off to Poland. Glass magic, paint, and glitter, and this is the result.
They're beautiful. They're limited edition. They are available in the Arms gift shop.
Yes.
The Casey Malone Show returns with Mary Jo and Rick performing "Remember Him." I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery, and fall specials are here. Look at these beautiful
Yes, Casey.
cocktails.
Yes, they are. These are actually some of the drinks that our bar team developed here. We have a pumpkin spice latte martini. We have a devil's blood drink here. And then we have an apple cider sangria here using local cider from the area here that we represent for the city.
And I'll tell you, the farm to table continues into fall.
Yes.
Chef Reggie has got excellent specials each and every night.
Yes. We're still using the farm to table menu, supporting the local farms. It's a different mix and match every night. Reggie's creative mind just runs back there, and we just let him go with it. And if you guys been here before, you've experienced some of his dishes.
And remember, it is eat, drink, and celebrate, and that party room is ready to go.
Yes.
Come on out to the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Fall is in the air.
Salud.
Cheers.
At the Vein Center in Med Spa, we realize the serious health issue varicose veins can cause. We know it's more than just cosmetic. We provide you with caring and personal service in a clean and friendly atmosphere. All vein procedures are done in our office during convenient and flexible hours by a medical doctor with over 20 years experience. The Vein Center in Med Spa also offers fillers and neurotoxin procedures, hydrofacials, and laser hair removal services. Call the Vein Center in Med Spa for a free consultation. See why our patients leave satisfied. Now accepting Anthem and Highmark.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in an automobile accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may encounter. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court. And remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life, trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
We do catering 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything you want. So if you want us to do one thing or everything for your holiday party, we can do it. We can do it with Gourmet to Go. We can do it with our off-premise catering. We can do anything that you want. We have lots of great restaurants in our community, but I would like to be the one that impresses your family and friends this year during the holidays.
I want everybody coming through that door to leave here with a good experience.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. Shop Rulli Brothers, home of the famous Evening Express.
The perfect gift. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, the best food in the valley. For every $50 you spend on gift cards, you get a free $10 bonus card. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, Route 224 in Boardman, and their new location on Route 46 in Howland.
Each Christmas day, you'll hear me say to everyone I meet along the way, the gift of Christmas is with you. Remember him on his day.
Joe, how did you get this team to record that song? You wrote the lyrics?
I put the lyrics together, and then Rick, after we got together, worked magic with them. But the story on how, it's funny. Sharon and I were at dinner at El Barini's.
Yes.
And these two were singing.
That was the original one out of Niles.
The original one, Richard and Chookies.
So after I finished with the book, and you know, in the back of my head, I said every good Christmas story has a good Christmas song.
That's right.
They complement each other. So then I put those lyrics together, and then I got up the courage to reach out to Mary Jo on Facebook with the opening line, "I am not a stalker."
It was so funny.
Rick, you better take this one.
Okay, friend request, yeah.
So he brought you the lyrics, and then you absolutely came up with the melody, and then it...
Sort of like that. We had a meeting, and I found out, and I looked, and he showed me pictures that he had from this book, illustrations.
Oh.
And I said, whoa, this guy means business, because these illustrations were like,
beautiful.
You know, they're beautiful.
Remember how shepherds watched their flocks by night. Remember the wise men guided by the light to the one whose life was a gift so bright. He lights the path throughout.
So he said, I have an idea for a song. I have an idea for lyrics, but I'm not a songwriter. I don't know what I'm going to do about a song. I said, well, I happen to be a songwriter. So if you want my wife to sing it, maybe I could come up with some ideas. So I took his lyrics and then crafted them, you know, to make them musical, and then put together a song that I thought I wanted it to be like a traditional Christmas song. So when people would hear it for the first time, they would almost get the impression that it's like, well, I kind of remember this, but not really.
And it's available on iTunes.
iTunes, yes.
That's right. You could buy a song that is really originated in Youngstown by Youngstown people. So go to iTunes. It's Remember Him on His Day.
Mary Jo Maluso.
Mary Jo Maluso.
His day.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old-style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age, using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
Open the Jewel Box, the Courthouse Inn, organic vegetarian comfort food, handcrafted cocktails, fine wine and beer, fresh baked cakes and pies. Recharge your senses at the Courthouse Spa. Dazzling dining, artfully prepared, locally sourced ingredients, spa services. The Courthouse Inn feels like a world away, just down the road in historic Lisbon, Ohio.
I am blessed with a wonderful husband. He stuck with me through thick and thin, and he's a fantastic father. So when he needed long-term care, not just any place would do, we did our research. Everyone said, trust the name you know, Briarfield. With all those locations, there's always one close. That made it easy for me and the kids to visit more often, Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield. Proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
Christmas morning, for anybody, it is extremely exciting. But here at Kamara Jewelers, we also have that feeling for all of the customers that have come in.
So we've done the snow promotion the last couple years, and I really swore that it was gonna happen last year. This is gonna be the year. If it snows 4 more inches on Christmas Day, any purchase made from December 1st to December 18th, then you get your money back. I mean, that would be amazing.
Get real, get Kamara.
At Rulli Brothers, the family is in the store. Meats, deli, produce, even the checkout. We work hard to ensure that you get the best products at a personal shopping experience. At Rulli Brothers Markets, our customers are our top priority. Our family is in the store.
I am really excited about today's cooking segment. My mom, Jelaine, is going to join us, and we are going way back with a throwback recipe. Now, my Aunt Barb, my mom's sister, was going through a book of Grandma's items, and she came across this book, Frances Lee Barton, and it is her cookbook, Cooking School of the Air. And I never heard of this lady. Did you? I'm a little bit older than you, but I haven't heard about it either. So in doing my research, I found out that she was General Foods competition.
Oh, she was
to
the Betty Crocker.
Oh. Who is General Mills.
That's right.
And she is a huge fan of sifting. Oh. Sifting the flour and then sifting it again. Some of the recipes call for a 4-sift. I found a recipe that I thought, and I made it a few times, and it really is delicious. It's easy. It makes like 7 dozen cookies, but you're gonna see that you don't have to make them all at once. And they're called vanilla nut icebox cookies. And courtesy of Frances Lee Barton. For this recipe, you'll need 4 cups of sifted flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 cup of butter or shortening, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup firmly packed brown sugar, 2 eggs well beaten, 2 cups of chopped nut meats, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I'm not a big flour sifter, but what the recipe calls for is 4 cups of sifted flour, and then once you add the baking powder and the salt, you sift it again.
Oh.
So what you're going to see is that in sifting it, you really extend it. So there'll be extra, but I haven't sifted it yet. So let's start, and we use a piece of paper to put it on, and that way we put it back in. And I'm telling you, I mean, she was very, very, there we go. So I will start sifting it, and you know what, Ma, you could just start dumping this right in here. You don't just slam it in. What you're supposed to do is spoon in your sifted flour.
That's right.
Shake it up, and then level it off. And then, so this is 1 cup, all right? Now we go, and we're very tender with the
That's right. You
flour.
don't want to, you never pack it. That's the word.
Yes. And then you level it off again. So there you go. There's our 4 cups. Now we'll save this and put this back in the bag, and then we're going to re-sift it because we're going to add the baking powder and we're going to add the salt. So now we'll mix this in a little bit, all of the baking powder, and boy, she was really pushing the calumet. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. But boy, they talked about that double action. And we're gonna dump this back in again and re-sift it one more time before it's ready to use for the recipe. And now we're gonna cream the butter all by itself until it's nice and fluffy. All right, so see, the butter is nice and creamy. And now we gradually add the sugars to this recipe. So it will be the brown and the white. We'll start with the white since it's a little more pliable to begin with. And we'll continue to do this until it's well combined. Okay, so now all the sugars and the butter are creamed together thoroughly. Now what we're gonna do, the beaten eggs.
Before the flour.
Yes. Well, flours usually last.
Yeah.
But we're also adding the nuts first. So then the nuts go in, and I love the way it said 2 cups of chopped nut meats.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't sure what the nut was. But I had always have walnuts in my freezer. So I used walnut meats. And then 1 tablespoon.
And don't forget, those ladies didn't go to Ruli's to buy nuts. They shelled them first, and then they baked with them.
Exactly. Our double sifted flour with the dry ingredients is going to come flying out. So maybe we'll slow it down before each division.
Yes.
Okay, so now here's our dough. Now look at all this cookie dough. This is a lot to work with. What we're going to do, according to Frances Lee Barton, is you put it into a ball. She said cut it in 2. So I'm going to cut this in half. All right, so now we have 2 even pieces of dough. But I find it even easier to work with twice. So go like this. And this has to refrigerate overnight. To really firm up. And Frances Lee suggests that you get your wax paper.
Oh, every house.
Okay, and you go like this. So I have it out. And then these cookies should be in a cylinder about 1.25 inches. And you just put these in the refrigerator.
Let me put it in.
Overnight until they're really super firm.
Voila.
And then voila. I do have some ready to go. So let me finish the next 3 tubes and we'll bake these cookies and see what we just made. Preheat the oven to 425, which we've already done. These cookies only take 5 minutes to bake. There we go. I'm gonna throw these in the oven 5 minutes and you're gonna see how delicious these are.
They're delicious.
Let them,
I love it,
cool on the pan before you remove them, and then let them cool further, and they really have a nice snap to them. They're delicious.
It has a sort of a shortbread feeling to it.
Really
Very good. Cheers to us, none better.
Frances Lee Barton. This was really nice. I'll tell you, Aunt Barb, when she gave me this, you know, just knowing that this was Grandma's,
Yeah.
and, you know, and
Here's
we
Stella.
have Grandma's recipe book with all the different things that she loved and that she made, and I just love having her with us.
Yes.
So this is a great recipe, and it makes a ton of cookies, and just go to my website, caseymalonshow.com, and look for the vanilla nut icebox cookies courtesy of Frances Lee Barton. And I wish she was still on the radio. I'd give the old gal a listen to. And wine goes with everything. So
Here's to Frances. Here's to Stella.
And Stella. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.